Noon. JLR investigates. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. We got a lot to discuss. I got a new police report that just came out with the Mica Miller case. We're covering this case, boots on the ground. I am still in Myrtle Beach. Ironically, I had issues with my tires today. Mica Miller had issues with her tires. I had issues with my tires. So I've been getting my tires fixed. Good job. My tires are officially fixed. But we're going to talk about this case right here because we've been here. I've been here for almost a week now, covering this case extensively. And as some of you might or might not know, yesterday, terrible news. The family got, met with investigators in North Carolina, was there. Then the family went to pay respect to Mica at Lumber River State Park, right near Lumberton. And, it's a sad situation. And, I think a lot of people can't move on from this case. I don't think this is necessarily a case closed. And when I say case closed, I'm talking about a lot of suspicion centered around this guy right here. And this is Pastor John Paul Miller. Some people call him JP. Some people call him PJP, Pastor John Paul. People from his congregation call him PJP. Now, leading up to what the terrible tragedy that happened to Mica, April 27th, 2024, Mica was going through a lot. She was trying to get away from the pastor, and she was filed for divorce just a couple days before the unthinkable happened. And people are starting to say, well, Mr. Pastor John probably drove her to the unthinkable, drove her over the edge. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And we've been covering this case at all angles. New police report is out. So we talked about a police report that happened in March, where she's claiming that her tires were popped and there was a tracking device on her vehicle. And when she was trying to get a protective order at the court, John Paul was there. Well, I have a copy of another police report, and this one was filed in February of 2024. So we're talking about another police report. So that's two, February and March. That's two, folks, now. Two police reports in just a couple months. There might be more out there. People have been filing FOIA records. I found this online, so I didn't obtain this myself. There's a good thread on Twitter with a journalist or a individual who claims they got records via FOIA. But I do got a copy of this I want to share. I want to share about this police report because it was filed on February 21st, 2024. And in it, it says it was filed at the Myrtle Beach Police Department. So Myrtle Beach, Horry County, Horry Police. There's numerous agencies around here. But this was filed with the Myrtle Beach Police Department, folks. So now we have another agency that, was centered around, where Mica was filing complaints with. I met with the complainant at 300 Coastal Grand Circle in the city limits of Myrtle Beach in reference to a report of a stolen vehicle. Now, this is interesting. The CP stated that she had been separated from her husband, the involved others, since January of 2023. So she told police she was separated from him since January 2023. So remember, folks, she filed for a divorce in around October, the first divorce. So this is going back. She was separated from him over a year at that point, folks. Over a year separation. CP stated that she'd been separated from him since January 2023. The complainant states that she was involuntarily hospitalized on 2/8/2024 and left her silver 2019 Honda Accord parked in the parking lot of the Walmart Neighborhood Market located at 3650 Walton Drive. When she got discharged from the hospital staff informed her that her husband picked up her purse and car keys while she was hospitalized. She stated that when she was released from the hospital on 2/10/2024, so she was there for 2 days, hospitalized, she returned to the Walmart neighborhood market on Walton Drive and discovered her vehicle was gone. She believed that her husband fraudulently initiated her involuntarily hospitalization and stole her car while she was in the hospital. Now, those are serious accusations. She stated that she has known her husband since she was 10 years old and that she was groomed while she worked for him at Solid Rock Church until they were married 6 years ago. I contacted the husband, who stated that he and his wife were not legally separated and that she suffers from mental health disorders. He stated that the CP experiences episodes on an annual basis near Christmas when she becomes reckless and spends large amounts of money when she stops taking her prescribed medication. He stated that he was in possession of the silver Honda Accord in order to prevent his wife from selling it during this episode. He pointed out the fact that the vehicle was marital property and that he was unwilling to give it back to his wife for a month, which he stated was usually the time frame of these reckless episodes. Due to both parties stating they were legally married, I made the determination that the Honda Accord was considered marital property. Therefore, I could not establish a criminal offense. I have nothing further at this time. So they were separated, what she says, since January 2023. That's some new information. And she's claiming that he basically forced her to become involuntarily hospitalized. And he took her car. Now, remember, a month later, she files another police report and says there's bugging devices on her car. They found a bugging device on the car. So maybe he took the car from her. And then that's when maybe the bugging device got put on the vehicle. Remember, a month later. So, there's been issues with them. And it seems like his way of explaining is, oh, she's mentally ill. She's suffering. I wanted to keep her away from having the car because she was, not going to, he didn't want her to sell it. But why would he care if they're separated? But he's saying, oh, since we're married, I can do what I want. Very, very strange. And she made the thing, she said groomed. She specifically said groomed, which is shocking because we've been hearing that in this, this whole entire episode here. So you got that police report so that's wild. Somebody listed a list of criminal offenses that Pastor John Paul has been involved with during the course of his lifetime. And these criminal offenses, there's 10 of them. He's been in trouble with the law numerous times. He might be in trouble with the law again on this one. I'm not so sure the case is clear, considering that he refused to go up to speak with investigators when they offered him to go up there to talk about his wife in North Carolina. He didn't go. And how did he get an attorney so fast, by the way? That's kind of fishy, too. Number 1, knowingly damage property. Number 2, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Number 3, possession of liquor by minor. 4, possession of consumed liquor by a minor. 5, possession of cannabis. 6, contributing to the delinquency of a child. Number 7, domestic battery, bodily harm. 8, domestic battery, physical contact. 9, assault and battery at the high aggravated nature. Number 10, being on the premises after warning or refusing to leave. That is your pastor, folks. That is the pastor at Solid Rock Church, which is shocking to the core. He got to the status that he's at, considering all this stuff. And not only that, folks, but the stuff involved with his father also, Dr. Reginald Wayne Miller, that we talked about. But apparently he got his pastor status by preaching in a small little room with a bunch of dudes that had drug addictions, and then it just grew from there. They say he has a lot of influence. He's powerful with his words, like almost like a cult figure. But how did we even get to this stage? Because I'm going to tell you something else. And I don't think I shared this information. You know, folks, I met the family yesterday. Very nice people. They're grieving, and I can't imagine what they're going through, the pain they're going through. I just can't imagine. But I was told, folks, on April 28th at midnight. So this happened in the afternoon. We know this happened around a little bit before 3 p.m. The 911 call was made. And we also spoke to a witness. I interviewed a witness. It's on my channel. It says about 4 p.m. is when it happened. So maybe between 3 and 4, somewhere in that time on the 27th. So I'm told that the family of Mica became aware of what happened to her by him via a text around midnight on the 28th. And in that text, guess what, folks? He blamed their family for what happened to her. I was told that. He blamed Mica's family for what happened to her. So it seems like he plays the blame game, and it's everybody else's fault but his own. Now he has an attorney. Shocking, right? It's like, whoa. And remember, she's accusing him of taking the car in February. Remember in December, folks, in December, after she filed for divorce. Now, she filed for divorce. She's filing for divorce in October. So why in the world is he even trying to gain her possessions in the process of the divorce? I don't think the divorce I think it was sometime in February or March when the judge denied the divorce, and now they were going through the process again because he got served paperwork a couple days before this tragedy happened. But I was just wondering why he would take her car when he's already been served divorce papers, and it's clearly that she wants nothing to do with him and she wants to move on. But this guy seems like he can't move on, and seems like he wants to continue to control her or intimidate her or harass her or stalk her, and not giving her an opportunity to move on with her life. Grow. Get away. And it seems like this guy just kept being a thorn on her. Not only that, but remember, folks, in December, apparently after the divorce was filed, he switches the deed of his house over to he transfers ownership of his house, which is probably worth, I would say, maybe $500,000, 400,000, 300, something like it's a nice home. We went there. We saw it on JLR Investigates. He transfers the ownership of that house over to the church, which I feel like it was to hide assets or prevent her from obtaining anything. And apparently they've known each other since 10 years old. Terrifying. Terrifying. She got that aspect. What else is going on? What else is going on with this case? Here's another one. A lot of people are saying that they cannot believe she did what she did and went into Dick's, I thought it was Dick's Sporting Goods, Dick's pawn shop, and did this. When people are claiming that she's like, for instance, I'm going to read this post. They're posting that she paid her taxes. She paid her taxes the day before. The day before. And she was ready to go. She actually even also just recently set up a hair appointment. This guy here, this individual makes this post. His name is Jack Hannigan. Jack Hannigan. I've been following the Mica Miller case on social media since it happened, and I'm so saddened by it. There is 100% more to the story. My friend sent me the screenshot today, and it kind of blew me away. I don't think anyone has posted about it yet. Mica died on April 27th. Yet Mica paid her vehicle taxes that were a few months late on April 26th. The day the tragedy happened, the day before. Somebody said JLR will get sued by this guy. No, I won't. I won't be getting sued by Mr. JP. For what? For speaking the truth? He's not going to sue me. For what? For what? Sharing what everyone else is sharing? Sharing what's out there? Sharing that most likely he's responsible for driving her up to what she did? I'm assuming. We'll go to discovery. We'll go to depositions. I'll countersue him back. Putting two and two together, why would you not go out of your way to pay your vehicle tax if you didn't plan on being around the next day? Additionally, I had another friend whose mother was a hairstylist. Mica had a hair appointment for Tuesday, April 30th. Who makes plans that doesn't intend to live? I have so many questions. I really hope this all gets thoroughly investigated. It doesn't make sense. Family's not satisfied. I'm telling you, I spoke to the family before and they're not satisfied. Now, I don't know how they feel after they met with investigators because they didn't share anything. Everyone kept their distance. I don't know how they're feeling now, but I feel like there's rumors going around that they're going to file a lawsuit against JP. They're going to file a lawsuit against him, and I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if the gun store gets sued. How in the world how was she ever even get a gun in that situation? I don't know. But this is a pretty good thread. I found this thread on Twitter. And it's coming from an individual here named Beth Braden. And Beth Braden, she identifies as a researcher. Well, she's saying that she filed a bunch of FOIA requests on this case. And she's posting documents. And she says, up first, we have the report from February 21st, 2024, with Mica reporting that JP took her car when she was involuntarily hospitalized between 2/8 and 2/10 of 2024. The car was parked at the Walmart. One of the things. Mica said that day that she had known JP, she was 10 and he had groomed her. Ultimately, because they were still married. So we're kind of recapping. No action was taken regarding the vehicle. I wonder if the authorities can do anything on JP. On her, basically doing what he did to her so young. Do you think he could be charged anywhere? Do you think he's going to get charged with anything? Do you think he's going to get charged with anything? Or do you think he's going to walk? Or do you think his family connections? Because it seems like his father has some connection. His father's wanted, by the way, in Pakistan. I don't know if you guys know this. But there's a story going on with his father. His father started a missionary out there in Pakistan and did some really wild things with children and then got out of there real quick. And they actually have charges in Pakistan against his dad. Now, his dad probably will not be extradited back. It's hard from the United States to get extradited to another country. I don't know if you guys know that, but his dad, we're going to do a deep dive into his dad on a subsequent statement. I'm not going to read this whole thread, but basically is this person here lays out pretty much what I've laid out. It says here, on March 13th, 2024, JP reported that one of his employees of the church had allegedly swindled $1,199 meant to go towards a mission project in Kenya. The employee is not named. I don't know anything about that. There's also a CAD report from 2/15/2024 that seems to have the same details as the 3/13 police report. So they're talking about some things here. These aren't the only reports I got back from the Myrtle Beach FOIA. There's one report with 0 names on it that lists the church as the location of the incident. The report is from 2022, and the victim reports that she received of an obscene phone call and text. And it comes from the church. It's a whole interesting thread. I'm going to look really deep into this, but I wanted to share this really quickly and share that a new police report's out. There'll probably be more police reports out on this case, but it's just such a sad tragedy. And at the very least, this guy is brought to light. I think this guy is facing a world of civil problems, and it very well could be that other people come forward. Matter of fact, let me share something else here. News Nation has a report that just came out about an hour ago saying, and this is the title of the video. This is the title of the video. Husband sent flirty texts before Mica Miller's death, waitress says. And here's a waitress. There's a waitress here that claims that Mr. JP was sending her flirty texts. Mica Miller was found April 27th in North Carolina State Park. Waitress says Miller's husband, a pastor, sent flirty messages. The waitress shared with News Nation a receipt she received from a customer February 23rd. That receipt bears the name of John Paul Miller, includes a $20 tip and a phone number with a happy face on it. He signed the receipt just 2 months before his wife filed for divorce. The waitress, who News Nation agreed to identify only by her first name, Christina, reached out to John Paul soon after and exchanged text messages. He repeatedly asked Christina to send pictures of herself, including bikini pictures, and called her super hot. The pastor never asked to meet in person. I was pretty aware of things from the beginning, Christina said. I had some suspicion. There were some red flags. I did some research before I even texted him, and then after I did, I spoke with a friend of mine whose friend had a very negative experience, a mortifying experience, really, with him and his church. Christina declined to share the specifics about the experience, saying it was the other woman's story to tell. So that's another woman. She's talking about what she had with this dude, flirty text messages, and then she's also explaining there's another woman that had another experience with Mr. John Paul Miller. What in the world's going on here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with this dude? There's multiple females that are coming out. And that's probably more of the problems this dude is facing. A whirlwind of problems. And, civilly, definitely, for sure, civilly. I mean, I think he got served paperwork the other day in dealing with the divorce, but I could see something really serious happening here, folks. Dude thinks he's God's gift to woman. So, I call out everyone on JLR Investigates, our 197,000 subs. If you know any information about this guy, I would share with authorities. And if you want to come on my channel to speak and set the record straight, or even speak anonymously and share any experiences, good or bad, with this guy, shoot me a message. Shoot me an email, JLR@JLR Investigates. I would love to hear your story. If you were a victim of this guy in any way, please come out. Be brave. Your help can make a difference in this world. If you know anything about this guy, please share. I am JLR Investigates, boots on the ground. I'm still in Myrtle Beach, going to visit the gun store and some other locations, so stay tuned for that. I'll be back on in a little bit. Hit that sub button. And if anything else breaks from this case, any more police reports, I will share with all of you on this channel. We are Mica's Army, Justice for Mica. We say no to domestic violence, praying for our family, and praying for the community. We'll talk soon. You guys have a good day, everyone. JLR Investigates. Be safe. Thanks for watching.